records. Now, let's get to our first call of the day from Aurora, Colorado. Jim's on the line. Hi, Jim.
Hey, Patrick. Hey, Leo.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks. I've just built a new computer.
Yeah.
And I would like to benchmark it using the Quake 3 time demo.
Oh, goody.
Patrick's the king of benchmarks. You want to go over and... we have the Ultimate Gaming Machine where he just did a ton of benchmarks, including the Quake 3 time demo. Let me explain what the Quake 3 time demo is. It is one of many benchmarks. A benchmark is a way of measuring the performance of your system. Obviously, Jim, you build a new one, that's the first thing you want to do is compare it to other people's systems, right?
Yeah.
See if you build something that's faster than the average bear. Traditionally, we run benchmarks like the ZD benchmarks, and those have been very good. But for gaming, there's no better benchmark than taking a game and seeing how it performs. Since the days of Quake 1, the guys who do Quake have put in a feature called Time Demo. It was because users were doing this informally, where they turn off any artificial slowdowns to make the game playable. They turn those off, and they let the game play as fast as it can, and then at the end of playing through a traditional recorded movie, usually it's one of the demos that comes with Quake, they'll give you a frame rate and the number of seconds it took. And that's a really very good indicator of how well that machine is going to play Quake 3 and by extension many other games. So you know about the time demo, right?
Yeah, can you do that on the, you have to do that on the full version or the demo?
I don't know. I'll tell you what. Patrick Norton's over at the Ultimate Gaming Machine, and he's got the time demo. Can that run on the demo version of Quake?
That's a really good question. It may be able to run on the demo version of Quake. I haven't tried, so we can actually try to download that later on and see what happens. We run it on the full version of Quake.
I think it should run on the demo version.
We can try. We'll try to download the demo version of Quake, erase the full version of Quake, and see what happens.
I'm going to bet you, Jim, that you can.
Yeah.
That's my bet. What do you got? You have a program that we used, and this is very cool because normally, Jim, what you have to do is you have to do a lot of settings in Quake to get it to do the time demo, and everybody who does time demos has to follow the same protocol, otherwise the numbers don't match. This is a program that simplifies the process.
This is pretty slick. G256.com came up with a program called Q3 Bench. And what it does is it automates the actual running of the Quake test. The biggest problem with benchmarks used to be, especially in the early days of Winstone and stuff, you'd have to run it over and over. Like Leo says, you'd have to set it up manually. And you spend a lot of time typing in on the keyboard and hit and run and waiting for it to run and hit and run and waiting for it to run again and writing down the numbers. What this does is it actually lets you pick the resolutions, whether or not you change through the config, how you set it up, and leaving it set it up so you run it multiple times. When you benchmark, you want to run it 2 or 3 times so you get an average score, because just running a benchmark once isn't going to tell you. Then you hit run and go through the Q3 Quake, and what it actually does is it runs through all these different screen resolutions and runs the demo for you automatically. Now, are there any stuff other than Quake that you're interested in looking at the performance of?
Well, I want to see the overall performance. I don't really care about the disk drive and the CPU. And
here's what happens, right? When you use a single application to benchmark, such as Quake, what you do is you're actually looking at how fast that particular game runs on your system. In Quake, part of the thing is, see how fast it loads? There's nowhere, well, what you're going to see from this benchmark, right, the time demo tells you how fast or how many frames your processor and your memory and your 3D graphics accelerator can pump onto the screen. It really doesn't tell you a whole lot about hard drive or disk performance.
It's mostly about memory speed, CPU speed, and video card speed. That's it, right?
Because that's all that Quake really uses.
Right. So I think probably some other synthetic benchmarks like what the ZD Bop...
Content Creation Winstone 2001.
That's a really good one.
It's a very cool because it actually simulates doing real work, actually real tasks. They basically capture like making a video, working on a web page, working in Photoshop, and it actually takes advantage of that and it looks at how it works on your machine. That gives you a more holistic, a more overall look at how good the performance of your system is with real applications.
There are other newer benchmarks that people have come up with. SysMark, there's a whole bunch of other benchmarks, CPU Mark, that truthfully, the real thing is to find a benchmark that reflects real performance well. That takes a lot of work, a lot of research, and then that you can go out and go on the web and see what other people are getting, because a number by itself isn't going to tell you anything, Jim. You want to see how that number compares to other comparable systems. I use, things like SciSoft's Sandra, which has a fairly comprehensive set of benchmarks for disk, memory, CPU, and then overall. It's a very good benchmark. You can download that from any software library, and I think it's very good. S-A-N-D-R-A. It's SciSoft Sandra. Okay, Jim? And I do believe the time demo will work with I'm almost positive the time demo will work with the demo. I've done it with the demos. Yeah. I just don't know the latest version of Quake 3 if it'll work with that.
We can try it.
I've done it in the past with Quake 2. Hey, you want to get on the air like Jim did? We can get you on the air. We have the technology.
We do?
We do.
What's it called?
It's called the phone, 888-989-7879. You can also use our fabulous fax machine. That phone, oh, isn't that beautiful? 437-5889 in the 415 area code. That's right. 5869.
437-5869.
What I said.
Or you know what? You can also chat with us. Someone say something else. Anyhow, chat with us at the new chat address, techtv.com/chat.
I was having a lucid dream. I'm sorry. If you're on a netcam and you want to ask a question on the air, guess what? Every netcam caller we put on the show gets a free Screensavers T-shirt or cap, but you got to get by these two. Hey, wait a minute, Joshua.
Joshua,
who's there in there with you?
This is Catherine.
Hi, Catherine. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
She really looks excited about being here.
First time on national TV.
Huh?
That's the second newbie without the
no hat. You got to put the crown on it.
There's no crown today.
Oh, somebody stole the crown. That's
Burger
right.
King pulled the
So get past Catherine and Joshua. Tell them your question. Get on the air. We see you. We love you. We give you the T-shirt or the cap and the magnetic picture frame worth all of 3 cents. Today on the fridge, Leo and Pat, sort of. Sent us by Charles. Why is that different? It just looks like the autographed picture. Wait a minute. Our heads have been switched. Oh, what a horrible, horrible thought. We need more of your pictures for the fridge. Send them to the screen. It's kind of creepy, isn't it?
It's not even our entire head.
It's just like the face.
It's like this part. Oh, it's creepy.
Send it to the Screensavers at techtv.com. Make fridge picture the subject. Lion.
Oh, boy. After the break, we're going to talk to Napster co-founder Jordan Ritter and about the technical issues surrounding peer-to-peer networking like Napster. When the Screensavers continues.
Stay right here.